Bluetooth in my ear, I don't need a ticket. Trying to find me a freak who really trying to kick it. I'm a Michael Vicker chick, dog, out good. I'm on Manchester rolling through Inglewood. Car cleans, rim big on blink. Little chick on the side saying do the damn thing. About 10 o'clock, saw some shit about to pop. Ain't talking police, but a bitch, I'm a cop. Fitted hat on with a mean little strut. $20 in my pocket, but I don't give a fuck. Niggas in the party lighting up the street. Oh, what we doing after this? Rome hit Rebo.
What's going on, y'all? I'm back again west of the 110 here on the normal Monday. Sorry for the late start. As y'all know, it's a lot going on in LA. But welcome to another explosive episode of West of the 110. So tonight's show might rattle some jerseys. We're not talking about points, assists, or MVPs. We're talking about something deeper, paternity. Because while some NBA players are out living a fast life, thinking of women they left behind were being loyal, maybe, just maybe, some of them had a little game of their own. From whispers about alleged Jackie Christie and Chris Webber to alleged Steve Nash allegedly raising someone else's child, to Karl Malone's real life scandal that became national conversation. We asked the hard question: should NBA players be getting DNA tests? This ain't drama, it's legacy. So with that being said, it's a lot of stuff going on. Yesterday on the pop-up Sunday show, we had a lot of stuff to talk about, mainly talking about things that's going on in LA and still going on today, so with that being said, also be cautious if you're in LA riding around. There's a lot of stuff going on, but like I say, today's topic is paternity in the paint. It's a lot of stuff going on out there now, what I'm saying? A lot of fake news been going on out there. A lot of stuff hasn't been facts proven yet, or hasn't been able to been found, what I'm saying? Hasn't been able to be found. So let me start off with this, like something back in the day. We talked about this before we get into some of the more recent things, but it's nothing new about children being born to, a different male, and let's be real, men are liars, women are liars. And, just because you got a lot of money don't mean that you're going to tell the truth. It doesn't mean that you're honest, you know what I mean? So, that story that we heard back in the day, Steve Nash and Leandro Barbosa. Now, these were all alleged, these were some alleged rumors, alleged things that was going on. So, what I'm saying? Like, so don't hold us to this. And you know what, before I get into that, let me give this legal disclaimer. The allegations discussed in this episode are not confirmed fact unless otherwise stated. The show is for educational and commentary purposes only. Respect to all individuals mentioned. So, what's up, Russ? What's the word, man? Like I say, today's topic is paternity in the paint. A lot of allegations going on. A lot of people seem to have some, hard evidence. They know this, that, and that. But like I said, you can't believe social media. But what's the word, man? What's going on down in Houston?
Oh, nothing much, man. Shit, just another day, another dollar. Working like a dog, getting paid like a puppy. It is what it is.
I hear that. I hear that, man. Man, like I say, shit, man. I was getting into it, man. Before we get into some of the most recent things, I was just saying, a lot of scandals always been going on in pro sports, man, professional sports. Me personally, before I bring this old topic up, I think personally a lot of these women should be smarter. I think they're going for the easy targets. They're going for the NBA players. I think they easy targets to get. I would say, why not go after MLB players? These guys make hundreds of millions of dollars. What you think about that?
What? Well, no, what you say? Repeat the question, my bad.
I was just saying, like a lot of ladies go after NBA players. Do they seem like easy targets?
Oh, hell yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, they make themselves easy targets, for the most part.
Why is that?
I mean, I can't really answer for certain, but I guess because a lot of times they don't have a lot of guidance, a lot of structure around, and they're young, and they've been blessed with a lot of money, and like I say, they don't really have the proper team around them to help them make the right decisions.
And that's crazy. A lot of these players come out of, some of the players who do go to college, it's like, damn, do you learn anything while there? Like, did you try to learn something? I mean, especially nowadays, it's like, a lot of people encouraging, jumping sports, football, Travis Hunter to sign the prenup, he should have got that girl to have a prenup. Like, hey, man, that's that man business at the end of the day. He's going to have to deal with the consequences. But, you know what I'm saying? In today's world, those are some of the things you got to think about if you, in that, standing in that position with that type of money. So a lot of the NBA players are young with millions, man. Like, remember McGrady when he came in the league out of high school back in the day? I think he had signed like a $7 million Adidas deal out of high school. That's a lot of money. This was back in the 90s too, man. Like, and imagine a cat coming out your high school, back in the day, out of 12th grade, and you sitting on $7 million with other money you getting, per diem for traveling with the team and all this, and you 17. Yeah, you're gonna see some nice looking women, and you're gonna bite that apple.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I said, they're young, hot-blooded males with a lot of money. Just a perfect recipe for disaster, and for somebody to take advantage of it.
Well, I think a lot of the parents who are involved in their kids' lives that help the kids, or I ain't gonna say help, who got the kids through college, don't stop there when they make it pro. I think that's when you really should step in, especially the fathers. I don't know him personally, but we see the antics of John Morant's dad. It's like a lot of people say, man, your son got the opportunity of a lifetime. You should be there to make sure he flying straight, not on the sideline, fading and starting stuff all the time.
Right. I mean, shit, that's another one of those cases where, like I say, the parent is kind of too wrapped up into the life of the child, and he's benefiting off that. I'm sure he's enjoying it. So, I mean, you might kind of forget, who's the parent, who's the child in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, that's something he's gonna have to realize. I mean, luckily he's had a few chances talking about his son, because there's been some people who had one incident in certain leagues, and they haven't been able to play again. Football, Ray Rice, that one incident, you haven't seen him again since that. But like I say, paternity in the paint, man. There's some incidents like people didn't know of, or some people don't remember back in the day. Like a lot of paternity incidents are being talked about right now, but it's nothing new in the NBA. Like the rumor back in the day, it was never confirmed, but the allegations after Nash's wife gave birth to a child that reportedly looked biracial. The rumor spread that teammate Leandro Barbosa may have been the father. Nash filed for divorce shortly after the birth, but like I said again, status never confirmed. Nash denied the rumors. Still, it became a viral locker room legend. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, stuff like this goes on. You know what I'm saying? These rumors, allegations. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, of course, you're not gonna hear the player really confirm, oh yeah, such and such was smashing my wife and that's his kids and all that. You're not gonna hear that. But again, along comes with money is a lot of hush hush. A lot of stuff don't get talked about. That's just like Karl Malone and Gloria Bell. This is fact. Malone fathered a child with a 13-year-old girl, Gloria Bell, when he was 20. He denied the child. Demetrius Bell, who became an NFL player for years, and only later acknowledged the relationship. The power dynamic of that, Malone was wrong for the relationship. Bell's family they didn't really like publicly pursue charges, pushed aggressively for child support at nothing around that time. You know, it was like a complex situation, but you know, framed as a scandal involved in mutual silence. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think about something like that?
Yeah, it's a very complex situation. I mean, it probably didn't have to be so complex if people were just owned up to the shit in the beginning. But it's like they cover up, led to a lie, what you lie, put on top of another lie. And pretty soon, shit, you got a big conspiracy going on here. But shit, they probably didn't, they didn't want to prosecute Karl Malone. So that's probably why they kept it, on hush hush, and the parents probably took some money. But if the parents took the money, they probably shouldn't have prosecuted him anyway.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people look at stuff like that and say, "Oh, well, she was clearly a minor compared to him 20 years old." I mean, how does that work? You know what I mean? Because I know in California, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. In California, somebody in college is still considered a child under their parents' care. Am I right?
It what? I'm not sure about California. I mean, but in Texas, under 18. 18 is the age of consent here. I mean, the not age of consent, I'm sorry, but the legal age.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I say that to say this because I remember when I turned 18, I know my mom, she told me that you got to pay attention to the laws, because even if you 18 in college and you're talking to a girl that's 18 in high school, technically she's a minor. And I was like, okay, not that I was doing that, but it was just like.
But she's a minor because she's in high school?
Technically. And well, I take that lie back. Not even me being 18 in college, just me being 18 out of high school. I'm grown,
Uh-huh.
And if I'm dating a girl that's 18 and still in high school, she's technically a minor still, even though she's 18, but she's still in high school. I don't know if that law has changed, but like I said, this was shit over 20 years ago.
I mean, I don't know how that works here. That don't really sound right.
Well, like I said, a lot of shit don't sound right in these laws, man. Like I said, if you look at, we discussed this before, you look at some of the laws in Montana State, you'd be surprised. But again, like I say, man, even going back further, a lot of people talk about some things that went on like in the late 2000s, early 2000s. We can go back further to the 90s. I know you probably remember this. Russ. And D, you remember Sean Kemp and his paternity cases? Now this is a known fact. Sean Kemp fathered at least 7 children by 6 women. The rumors inflated that the number up to 11 children. Several women publicly criticized him for not being involved in skipping support payment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all remember that. At least one woman was caught manipulating, visitation schedules.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. He fathered quite a few kids.
I mean, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it. It's just like, some of these guys, they get in this position where they never been around decent looking women or never even talked to a decent looking woman. You know what I'm saying? And not in a position to where these women are throwing themselves at them, and these fools are just raw dogging each and every one of them like they crazy.
True that.
It's sick. It's sick. You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff tied.
Greater men than them that did things like that, and it brought them down. So when it comes to pussy, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that some of the greatest men on this planet that made mistakes with that kind of stuff. Now, if you keep making the same mistake, that's something different. That means you ain't learning. And if you don't learn, you end up in a position like, well, like what's that program broke? You got what? Something like 5,000, 6,000 athletes that were made over 100, 300 million bucks, and they're all broke and due
Yeah.
to pussy. And that's a cold shot
Or
right there. That's a
not even
cold
in
shot.
that. Hell, look at how many people that went broke over, gambling and drugs and shit. Hell, hey, like you said, if you keep doing something, I mean, you ain't learning nothing. So a lot of these drug addicts not learning because they always say, "Oh man, I'm doing better now, man. Yeah, I don't do it like I used to. I just do it every now and then. So how the hell you doing better if you're still doing it?"
I mean, a lot of people get addicted to a lot of different things. Some get addicted to drugs. Like you say, some get addicted to gambling. But I think, and alcohol and drugs, but I think by far, a lot of them get addicted to sex. Then when it's given to you, thrown at you, when you are multi-million, when you're 100 million or more, it's thrown at you like
Yeah,
water. And
yeah,
takes a strong brother to, say, you know what, I'm cool on that. You know that,
yeah,
E. You know how niggas do,
yeah.
especially with money. You know, all them brothers didn't get broke because they was making, wise economic decisions. They got broke because they were doing things they really wasn't supposed to be doing.
What'd you say? Shit, they shouldn't have been doing. What you think about that, Russ?
I mean, yeah, I agree. Yeah, you get
It's
caught up.
close.
Like I say, it's real easy to do. Man, like I say, most of them men just yeah. Like I say, and blessed with all that cash and them women flocking at them, it's a wrap. It's a
The
wrap.
cold part, they counting like you counting, I'm counting like they counting, everybody counting their gators. And you say, okay, all right, I got $10 million. So it ain't nothing for me to spend a few $100,000 on a few women here. Okay, now I'm doing it, I'm doing it tomorrow. But I still got 900 and something million. You know, I'm doing, well, not 900, but 300 million or whatever. And you're going down millions. Just like, say, $10,000 somebody just got. They can go pick up a berry or something. Then they doing it the next day. And they doing it the next day. Only they doing it at a higher level. And they're whining and dining at a higher level. And they getting these freaks that probably look good or what have you. And they like whining, dining, buying them jewelry. Oh, I got 10 million. Oh, well, only got 7. But this 7 is going to last, and it eventually catches up to them. And how you know that's a fact is because it didn't happen to too many of them.
Yeah,
They can make a
and that's
program
true.
and make.
It's yeah, Mr. Charles. He said, "F these hoes. They want money and cummy gummy." What the hell is that?
Well, you know what? I think it's safe. I could be wrong, but I think it's safe to call it a commodity. I think
Yeah.
it's safe.
Hey, but before we get into that, man, like you say, we got my boy Russ on the line today. So, like you say, anybody in the Texas area, y'all need an attorney. There's a lot of shit going on, man. It ain't just LA. If you think it's just, LA's a major city. A lot of shit going on. You're getting hit with situations with ICE immigration. Stringfellow Taylor Association, they handles that type of stuff also. So y'all reach out to them. So y'all check this out.
You're in traffic, you're at a red light, you get an unexpected ass kicking, road rage at its best. You need legal advice and action. Call us now, Stringfellow Taylor Associates, 888-777-LEGAL.
For sure.
It's a lot of stuff going on. Somebody might run up to you like that. So y'all, if y'all in Texas and that happen, y'all reach out to Mr. Russ Stringfellow, Esquire. He said when he clocks out, he clocks in somewhere else. uh,
Oh man.
but hey, man. But like you say, man, we touched on this yesterday on the pop-up show Sunday, man. You know, it's been talks about, you know, Jackie Christie and Doug Christie. These are alleged rumors. You know, there's been nothing that we can find that's fact about that. Nobody's confirmed anything. So I don't want people to say, oh, they're spreading rumors. No. This is just our opinion of what we're hearing like everybody else. And including from some NBA players online. If you got Google and YouTube, you can find it your damn self. It's no secret. But if it's true what was being said about this, what do y'all think about it if Chris Webber is really the father of the child that that Doug Christie was supposed to have father with his wife? And what does that say about like a lot of women in her position? Because she was kind of respected in the NBA. She was always there by her husband's side. And even a lot of women will stand up for her. So if these allegations are true, what does that say? How do people look at women of her stature going forward?
Not with anything positive, I don't think. I mean, I know women like to stand up for women, but bottom line, right is right. So people can put every scenario and add what they want into the bowl, but the bottom line, right is right. If a guy does that, he's gonna catch all hell.
Yeah, well, I tell people like this: a lot of people must not fear a higher power. You know what I'm saying? You can believe in whatever you want to believe in, whoever you want to believe in, but if you believe in a higher power and believe there's conflict for things you're not supposed to do, and you do them anyway, you must not believe in whatever you believe in. And that goes with that too. Anybody who can impregnate a woman that's not his wife, or any woman that can lay up and get impregnated by a man that's not her husband,
And the cold part about it, supposed to be your homeboy.
Supposed to, and like I say, well, I blame a lot of men, period. You know what I'm saying? That's just in general. You know, I guess that's just some shit you learned in LA. You know what I'm saying? You seen so much deceiving and bullshit going on, growing up around gang culture, where you would see two homies supposed to be right hand, but you see his girl leaving out of this nigga house at this time, and like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Y'all from the same. There's some shit in the 90s, you see, like it goes on today too, but there's some shit you would always see in the 90s. Two big shot callers from the hood, and they smash in the same broad, don't know it, and end up fighting each other over this broad who go to the next one.
Well, I mean, we've seen it before, country. You know that. Hello?
And it's still going on.
Yeah. We've seen it before. We've seen it at every gig. We've seen them at the jobs. You've seen them in the city. You've seen them at the airline.
Yeah.
That's something that's never gonna stop. So that's something that's never gonna stop. Guys are guys and women are women. And you got good guys and you got good women. But it's up to the man who's hanging around with whoever they're hanging around with, to know who they are. You got to know their character. You got to be a person that can evaluate character and say, you know what, this ain't the type of person I really want to hang around with. He's a cool guy, but me and his morals are not the same.
They don't co-align. Well, hey, real quick, just some quick news. For some people didn't hear, it was like about 11 hours ago. A little plane crash near San Diego. Hey, girl. Little plane crash near San Diego. Coast Guard say, the plane was a little Cessna 414, 6 people. They were on board, Say they looked to establish an area. Yeah, well, that's why I say, that's why I brought it up, man, just to let people know, like, be cautious of that. And to say this, it ain't gonna hurt you to take an old school Chevy Chase, vacation road trip, go to Wally World, hit that car and hit the road with your family. That's what some people need nowadays, is a good road trip. You know, everybody want to, oh, I'm gonna fly here first class, and all you gotta do is go to sleep on the plane and not worry about who next to you. Man, get in that car with some people, take a nice road trip. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about go no hour away. Take a little 3 to 12 hour road trip or more.
Well, tell me this, and I like to add this a little bit to it. What do you think about all the deregulations that Trump done added on to his administration, deregulating all the polluting companies and deregulating airlines, deregulating what's it? They fired all those traffic controllers. I mean, just deregulating everything to cut money, I guess. But like, fuck the welfare of the people.
What do you think about that, Russ? I mean, we're talking about it from a West Coast mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it looking down there, like, from your neck of the woods? How's it looking?
I mean, you gotta repeat the question. I'm sorry, I had a phone call come in.
Oh, my. They say you're looking at that dirty stuff again. Yeah.
No.
Hey, no, but just saying, like, you know, the stuff that we see coming out here, it's from our opinions and mind frame of somebody in LA, from what we see. Like, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think Houston is a little more predominantly black in the inner city of Houston than LA is. So how do people feel about the whole situation of everything going on? You know, real quick, just down from that in that area.
Oh, we're talking about as far as the immigration wise, that ICE and all that.
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about that, Russ. I was talking about the deregulation of virtually everything that's been intact for the last 40 years, like deregulating the maintenance on the aircraft. They ain't got to do as much
Flights,
maintenance.
everything. Yeah.
Deregulating the water purification, deregulating everything. He's deregulating everything and saying, you know what? These suits and people health and all of that is no big concern.
Yeah, that's a big deal in Houston, you know, especially with the plants and a lot of corporations. If I'm not mistaken, what Tesla moved down there, you know, how's that going to affect shit down there?
He's deregulating those refineries, everything.
Right. I mean, I can imagine it's going to have a severe environmental impact. And I mean, unfortunately, it's just how big business goes. And this is what happens in America. They got the money and they have the influence to do pretty much what they want. And unfortunately, the environment is the one who's going to take the impact, and ultimately us. But apparently,
Yeah, I mean, you know, like a lot of that's just like that deregulation stuff would hit Flint, you know. So
yeah.
I mean, they just got Flint, you know, getting it together, but now they're gonna suffer again, you know. A lot of those black, like, okay, like over there in Watts, you know, that plant that they just shut down, from all that pollution over there in Watts, that's been there for what, 40 something years, and they've been complaining. Those people over there have been catching cancer and stuff like that. So we know
Oh
who
yeah,
neighborhoods is going to be in all of that deregulation, who it's going to affect. But basically, what we're trying to say is, how bad is it going to affect us, and should it be really allowed? Although I know we can't stop it with Mr. Charlie in the office, but
well, you talking?
should
I
people
know you talking. You
should be
talking
people
about that metal place right behind Jordan High School, if I'm not
Atlas.
Atlas, yeah,
It's called,
right behind
yeah,
Jordan High School.
yeah, yeah.
So that, you know, that property is going to have to be you know, first they're gonna have to get a hazmat cleanup crew to get all that stuff out there. Then they got to inspect the land and make sure it's not toxic. I'm pretty sure Jordan is gonna have the first dibs on purchasing that land, or if not, part of that lawsuit may have been they obtained that land if it's clean.
Well, it
But yeah,
ain't
it's been
clean.
right behind that school for years, man. Like, and hell, that's been a
Yeah.
rowdy school and a lot of shit going on. You think some of them the metal chemicals got into some of them students' heads and shit?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And they got a high, a high rate of cancer and other diseases that they've been, ingesting from that environment over there. So it's not a good thing. And like I say, with it going nationally now, you can pretty much guess where the worst place is gonna be. I mean, but don't get it twisted though. They got in those red states, they got a lot of factories that's got screw boats missing on them, and they're gonna be affected too, because that's what their economy is based on. So it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna suffer.
Yeah, yeah. But like I say, hey, what's up, Big LA man? Just not getting back on subject, man. Talking about this paternity and in the paint, man. Like I say, the scandals that's been going on in the NBA, and not just with the kitty scandal, people having babies, just in general, man. Like shit, y'all. Deke, you probably remember Tim Donaghy admitting to betting on NBA games. Even if one he officiated. Shit like that. Along with the paternity scandals, shit like this been going on. What you think about that, Big LA?
Uh, I feel like want to be seen. Everybody want to be heard. Because honestly, if these people were at our level of life, we wouldn't know what they doing or who they are. Just based on how America sees things. People need to really remember their morals and remember who they are. For real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, along with the scandals, you always had the conspiracies. Like I said, aside from the paternity scandals, fast forward to most recently, like how to say rigged playoff series, like superstars, superstar calls, even NBA draft lottery. Remember, they said it was a setup about how New Orleans got Zion Williams or Victor Wembanyama going to San Antonio. Other small market saviors getting these big names. So along with scandals, they say even inside conspiracies, say alleged scandals with inside these big sporting, agencies, NBA, NFL, shit like that. Well, you think that really goes on? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of some rigged stuff going on inside of those professional leagues.
I believe his name is Ben Wallace. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. He did a podcast and has a podcast now where he talks about how the referees have a lot of influence on what goes on the court. Uh, you got people on the court out there violating people, and depending on who the referee is or what town or city they're in, it gets brushed under the rug. They also have email and text groups where they talk about these things beforehand. Some of these referees make more money than players in the league right now. I'm talking about one of these referees bring home 25 M's a year for blowing a whistle. $25 million for 4 months of work because you blow a fucking whistle and call some plays. No, because you sit at the table with the higher ups because you really an investor and y'all really having a conversation of what y'all want to happen.
Yeah. Well, that happens. Um, a lot of shit happens we don't know or have no control of, but I mean, um, it's money involved with a lot of this stuff, man, and that's the root of all evil. Not the money; it's what people do for them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, these people are looking at it. I make this dollar, man. But hell, look at some civil servants, like some police officers. It's on, people don't realize if you ever wanted to know how much a sergeant or lieutenant makes in your local city, it's public information. You go online and see that. They have one sergeant here in LAPD. He was confronted by some local camera guy that just he's into that. He looks up resumes and what they make. Said this dude made like 339,000 last year, like 160,000 on overtime. And this guy was just smiling, all of us just seemed like a cool guy, kind of chubby guy. And I was like, damn, man, that's when you making easy money. I'm going to work to eat, basically. So it happens, man. It's money being made, man, and a lot of people are not working for it. You know what I'm saying? And they doing scandals or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't feel like that's a scandal. If you're a civil servant and you going to work and not doing what you agreed to do or what you paid to do, that's stealing. So I say that to say this, man, like the NBA, same thing, man. When you go to the referees, man, like they get paid a lot. I remember we worked at the airlines, we see the NFL refs before the season would start. I think they would all go to like Santa Barbara or something like that, fly out for maybe some meeting up there. But I'm like, damn, man, just they seem relaxed and cool. Like, man, I said I would be too if I'm making all this money just to referee a sport that I love. But they're not even the most paid officials, if I'm not mistaken. I think MLB umpires get paid more than NBA refs.
I have no idea.
I believe that's just me. I gotta look that up, but if I'm not mistaken, they do. If you want to just say off top of the head, you would think they will because they have to officiate more games than anybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
What, the NBA ref?
No, the MLB baseball.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but again, you're just you're just blowing a whistle. You're throwing your hands in the air. You're calling plays. You're not pitching. You're not hitting. You're not running. You're not catching.
But you know what they're making that money on? They say they're making that money on being honest. If you pay them enough, they'll be honest. That's
pay them enough, they'll do what you want them to do on the field when they say do it.
Yeah, it's MLB umpires. The NFL is like 250. Well, that would be, they only have 17 games. MLB umpires are also among the highest paid, with some earning up to $500,000 per season. NBA refs with an average of $375,000 per season.
It's some back door something going on.
Damn, so $500,000 a season for MLB refs. That's not including if you selected to do playoffs and maybe a World Series. So you might make over $1 million a year I'm pretty sure anybody that's an umpire in baseball, they love that sport. So you getting paid to do something you love. That's like a porn star. He was getting paid to do something he loved,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I remember those days. Hey, but you know what, Don? Those days are over. Somebody got a message for you.
Money for you. You work. No more money for you. Bye.
That's funny. That is funny.
They were you off that pole. He said, oh shit! Hey man, I'm telling you, man, this shit is wild, man. And you know what's so crazy, man? It seems like the more money that these celebrities and I ain't gonna say celebrities, athletes make, the more they get used, man. That's like a lot of people saying that Anthony Edwards thing, like, oh man, he's a smart man. You get a lot of brothers online praising, like, oh, he's smart. He found the loophole around the system. But anybody as a father, when that baby turns 15, 13, he gonna feel some kind of way 13 years from now. You know, like, yeah, you ain't gonna be this little young in an NBA star no more. You're gonna be an older, more mature player, and you're gonna be wondering, and you got a daughter too, is she being mistreated and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't trying to be in her life, like, bro. $1 million to get rid of all responsibility for a human, that's a cop out to me. But hey, teach
I
his own.
noticed. I know there's something else there too, E. And
What's
it
that?
got something to do with like a lot of the stuff that's been happening. I see, and not somebody else brought it to my attention. I see the same white women that all voted for Hillary Clinton. And you know, they got all these good jobs now. Like that lady at DWP, 799,000 a year. They got these executive jobs and all this stuff from DEI. I see them falling off their high horses now. They're gonna start dropping like flies simply because people like Hefsack and that other idiot. They say women shouldn't be working. They need to be at home in the kitchen and having babies. And you know what kind of babies they talking about. And that's what a lot of this is about. Them losing their ratio, control, people. And I somebody was bringing up like, you know what, that makes sense. They're gonna start giving them their axe. In essence, they voted against their own interests like everybody else, and they're gonna start feeling it.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
finding that out now. They voted for against their own interests on
exactly.
How do you think some of
all
these
type of issues.
how do you think some of these politics gonna take place in some of these professional sports? Because like the NBA, you do have a lot of players who are stars from other countries playing. How do you think this is going to affect the NBA?
Well, you know what? If you notice, the main countries that he's really attacking, really most of them is from Africa. We got a couple peripheral places like what's that uh, Venezuela and a couple of more of those little uh, uh, Indian countries, but most of them are from Africa. Mm, very interesting.
So who the hell over there turning up? Somebody got
I
that
mean, you
Meg to
know,
say, what the hell, Big LA? You got some diamond push-ups to Meg the Stallion?
No, I'm cool. Meg like talking too much.
Hey, and that's crazy. You know, the whole scandal behind that, like I say, man, like I say, these are still allegations, this new evidence that's supposed to be presented. I haven't really seen it, you know, online or anything or heard anything legit about it. But like I say, everything that's coming out, if it's true about this woman, that's some cold shit, man. That's to me personally, that's I'm gonna say that's worse because this man Tory Lanez almost lost his life. So you know what I'm saying? Like whatever's behind that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that ain't my business. But just from what we seeing, what the media puts out and what's coming out now, if it's true, that's some cold stuff. And like I say, I put that up there with some of that shit we talking about now, like, you know, having babies 20 years later and finding out it's not yours. That's some cold shit. That's like a gut buster.
some people get killed for
like
shit
like like
like
from
that.
They do, man, and a lot of people don't, you know. Well, like I say, some people have been unalive for things like that. Hell, growing up in the hood, we've heard stories of some people unalive for a quarter.
Hell, you see, hell, well, that's his daughter, but you see, Robert Blake went ahead and put a bullet in his wife's head, put an OJ on her. So it ain't unheard of.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah, allegedly. True that. You're right. But when it's a husband
A lot of
and
that stuff is, I mean, it's just, I mean,
I've seen it happen a lot. So you know what? It is what it is. You know, people they pretty much hit it on the nose usually when when it's a relationship. Generally, it's somebody you know. We've seen it. It ain't like everybody here ain't seen it. We've seen it. Now, if it ain't no serial killer or something, usually it's
Yeah,
somebody you know. It's usually somebody you know.
yeah, yeah. And it's, I mean, and you know what's so crazy, man? Like real quick, like it's so funny that a lot of people, like say they magnify black on black crime a lot, but it's so crazy. If you live in a community, wherever you live at, 9 times out of 10, the community you live in is predominantly people who look like you. So the crime that's gonna happen 9 times out of 10 is gonna be amongst the people who look like you. And that goes to every other community too, Asian community, white community, Hispanic community. It's like the magnifying of situations, even in scandal. I think media plays the biggest part in all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's for sure. And you see, Trump got the media in check right now, though. No, they can't get on the Air Force
Why,
One, can't travel.
why speak on that?
How? What's that?
No, I was just saying, like, elaborate on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because he's barred a couple of networks, news networks, from getting on Air Force One because he didn't like what they were saying. So in essence, what he's doing, like any good dictator, you're limiting the news, and you get control of the news, and you have whoever's under your pawn narrate everything you want them to do. Everything you want to be said, you have them say it for now. They can't come out with their own independent opinion or thought. Whatever comes out had to be cleared by the White House itself. So that fake news stuff that he's been doing has been getting set up for right now, and it's working.
Yeah,
And then he
yeah.
got the
So a
courts
lot of
with him.
people say his agenda
Courts
is
went
working.
with him.
Put up.
But throughout the history of this country, the news has always been free. Free willing. Now they're in check. So you just like when they start lighting us up, they're gonna be like, "Don't put that shit on the news. We don't want nobody to get
Yeah, you're
mad."
right, man. Shout out Rose, man.
Real
Much
talk.
love, Rose. Hey, let me show y'all this real clip. I found this kind of funny earlier. While we on this subject, man. Maxine Waters. She was turned away today. I found this kind of crazy. Just
Use
check this
my
out real quick.
congressional authority to check on baby.
Ma'am, our lobby is secure right now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public apparel.
I need to get in.
He wanted to use her congressional powers to get in to check on the people
Migrants.
that the federal agents detain, the migrants that they detain. She thought that her congressional powers will give her, authority to go in there. But these people are like, look, we're here on federal authority. We don't give a shit about what you have to say, this, that, and that. And like I say, don't get me wrong. Nobody's here encouraging these people to go in there and remove anybody forcibly, hurting people from their families and all that. That's not what we're encouraging. But my thing is, it's like a lot of the people that they have been detaining, some of them are on the list for violent criminals. So it's like, okay, you want them to arrest gang members who are here. So if you have other gang members coming in from Africa, Haiti, wherever, why not be okay with that? But I guess it's just crazy because a lot of the California politicians, or a lot of the politicians who live in California, they are so heavily involved in this. It's like, damn, man, I wish y'all would stand up for the black community like this. Well, we need help getting something built and shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I say, that's another story, man. Like I say,
But they're but
it's no
they
hate
but they are
involved, but it's like,
they are allegedly criminals. You remember that one guy they sent over there to that prison? He hadn't did nothing, and they came up with all kinds of stuff that haven't been proven yet. I'm sure it'll be
you're
on.
right. You're right.
Some of them will be, I mean, how many of us died at the hands of 5-0 throughout the history, and we didn't do nothing wrong? I mean, capped in public, and we didn't do nothing wrong. Given the gas chamber, we didn't do nothing wrong. So don't think I trust the motherfuckers either. I don't trust the government. No, 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 no.
Well,
You can't.
I
You can't.
mean,
Because you know
my
what?
thing is
I learned
like,
about that in when this group, the Stylistics, came out with a song back off in the 70s. And I heard my sister crying early in the morning. My mom running around the house. Come to find out, like I said this before, that 5-0 had stopped him, and the gas station attendant seen him, stop him, take his wallet, find out when he lived. Right when he got in front of his house, they rolled up on him and emptied their pistols on him. And then, he just came from a little model shoot. He was a model dude. Walked up to him with their shotgun, blew his face off. And that's when, my mom had told me how they do it. You know what I'm saying? How they get down. And then I started observing. I was like, okay, that's how they get down. And the cold part about it right now I'm looking and I'm saying, the way things go, because they done already said, you've heard people already saying, different nationalities, oh, we're not going to go through what y'all going to go through. Because Trump going to do what he did to y'all when he was first in office. I'm like, you know what? I see that happening. I see that
yeah,
happening. But you know what? We ain't going to take it this time. We'll probably, some of us will fall, but I don't trust them motherfuckers, dog, because they said we used to do shit, dog, and shit. Half the brothers was on death row, was on fucking innocent, proven innocent, years later. And that ain't, and you cannot tell nobody's family you sorry for executing their son, and he didn't do a motherfucking thing.
yeah, you're right. Hey,
You
what do you
can't
think
make that.
about
You
that,
can't make
Russ?
it up. You can't make it up.
What you mean? It's fucked up, man. Right? I mean, shit, it's really nothing to think about. Oh man, you want me to elaborate on that? But I mean, it's an injustice of the greatest. I mean, really, there are no words to really explain or, I guess, to convey how convey the tragedy. But unfortunately, it's been going on for what?
Forever.
Forever, right? This is
Yeah,
ingrained
forever.
in American history. They've always taken care of us as they felt free to do outside of a law, and they felt they were immune from prosecution.
They were then.
Yeah,
They were.
I mean they still are to a certain degree now. It's just
Yeah.
it's more high tech and sophisticated, but it's still there
Yeah.
for those who can achieve it.
Oh yeah.
Like I say,
Oh yeah.
it's not even about color. Sometimes it's about money.
Oh yeah.
You got
With
there to
Trump in
achieve
there,
it.
it's definitely gonna be that way. Because if it's not,
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely gonna pardon whoever do it.
Oh yeah,
He's
he
gonna,
had
Hey,
pardons
so
out.
how do you
So
think this is going to affect professional sports? Like with the way it's affecting everything. Like I say, professional sports has a lot of people from other countries, especially NBA.
I think that's a legitimate argument for an immigration lawyer. Like, how do you know what I'm saying, accept or allow um, foreigners, or immigrants to play in your sports league, which generates billions of dollars, um, compared to, the average Mama Joe, right? Um, I don't know if y'all discussed this, but like, I was saying, I did like a little snippet earlier. I'm pretty sure, P and Taurus them checked it out. I was on some like, this my question, like, when it was time through the oppression that we went through, when has the, Hispanic, culture stood up for us? Name me one time. Civil rights
Yeah.
movement. I don't recall hearing anything about that. You know what I mean? Malcolm X, assassination, Martin Luther King assassination. Never heard anything about that. And recently, up until Ahmaud Arbery, the kid that was jogging in what was that, Alabama?
Yeah, when guys got in the truck and chased him down.
Yeah, haven't heard any protests about that. George Floyd, even up to the '92 riots, like they definitely participated in receiving free things allegedly, but I haven't too much heard anything about the Hispanic community standing up for us when it was time to protest or demonstrate how we felt about the injustice, you know so I hear a lot of people say, well, why aren't the blacks riding with us? You know what I mean? I hear that. I've been seeing that. And it's just like, ain't no color lines, but like, goddamn. You watch my back, I watch yours. But nigga,
It
they
ain't
ain't
no
watching.
believing. Ain't no
They,
believing.
they ain't washed our backs. And then on top of that, the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it right here, America was built on immigration, bro. We must not forget that. We must not forget that. This country
Well,
was
we
built
must
on.
not forget that we weren't immigrants. Some of us were already here, and
Correct.
people who were brought over on slave ships didn't immigrate here. They were stolen and brought here.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like the 13 colonies were started by who? Immigrants, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 13, the Constitution was written by who? Immigrants. Like when you really, really break that down, and now it's the law of the land. So now everybody else outside of that land that they feel that is not original, it becomes a problem. But I tell y'all this, I think this was Trump's first agenda in his first term. He just couldn't get it completed because that C word, I ain't gonna say it, but that C word was floating around at that time when everybody was catching it. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That distracted his agenda from the jump. That's what he wanted to do from the beginning. That's why he pressed so hard. You know what, nigga, this time around, I'm gonna get it done. And now we
Oh
see.
yeah. Yeah, 6 months and 6 months in, he done destroyed it. 100 years of work, and he ain't finished yet. So he's gonna do that. But I'm gonna comment on the Latins. They did participate in the George Floyd thing, but everybody did. Everybody participated in George Floyd. White people participated in George Floyd. You know, I I don't know if I've seen any Asians, but
You
I
know
know
what? You
most
know what?
people did.
Hold on,
Go ahead,
before
go
I
ahead.
go any further, before you know what I say about the people, like you say, the white people, in the George Floyd thing. You remember that in Malcolm X when the white girl ran up to him and said, "Is there anything I could do to help your cause? We feel you." What would he say? Nothing. You can't help. You can't. How can you help? How can you help? But my bad. Go ahead, brother. I just want to
Yeah,
say that.
there's power. There's powers in numbers. And you know what? They didn't let them get away with that. With all them people protesting, they didn't let them get away with that. Because I believe without all those people, they'd have got away with that in broad daylight. Because they've been getting away with it. But the vast majority of people was like, hell the fuck no. They're like, hell the fuck no. Broad daylight.
Cal Rittenhouse. You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man, that dude, he was dropped off by his
He got
parent
off.
to come whack
Yeah.
some people. I say he came there to do
yeah,
that intentionally, but that's what happened.
yeah. He did. He did it intentionally.
There was
They
two people.
they they, they bought him some food and gave it to him in the back of the car.
There was two or three
Some
people
Burger King, was it?
in
Yeah,
that.
McDonald's, I think.
There was two or three people unalived in that situation, and I believe like two more injured. A total of five. He got off clear. Now
Yeah,
we go back to Breonna Taylor, which occurred in the same year, within the same 12 months. Basically a paramedic, basically. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In
yeah.
her own home. I don't have to refresh the story, but come on, man. It you
Same
know it,
thing.
it's
Go
politics
ahead.
and it's too. What I say is, you know, and I don't mean this may shake some shit up. I'm here on the west side of 110. P. I apologize in advance, y'all. But y'all can't ask for us to
No,
come
you
to the
good.
rescue if you ain't showed up to put out a fire for us. Not one time. I'm 42 years old. I can't recall it. So now the shit
Yeah.
then kind of hit the fan and flip. Like, what y'all want us to do? March with y'all? Nigga, we subject to go get a federal case over that too. They're gonna be like, oh,
Well, hey,
you impeding with, you know what I'm saying? That we catch. Come on, man. I'm a go on mute. My bad.
hey, Rose. No, you good, man. I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying. Like that's some real talk. Like I tell people, for once and foremost, it's no hate involved, man. A lot of us, man, shit. Some of our closest friends, we have family who are Hispanic, married in, and kids. Some people have kids with Hispanic who are family that we love. So it's not from a hate aspect. And what's so crazy is a lot of the Hispanics that we know that speak vocally about this to us, they don't like what's going on because a lot of them tell us, oh man, my mom and dad had to come through the legal process. It took a process. So I feel some kind of way. And this is coming from people who are Mexican and Salvadorian descent that I know personally.
Let me tell y'all
They
real.
just scared.
Let me tell y'all a real story, man. My boy Luis, man. He just got deported. Him, his wife, and she ain't even 1 year old. No, she like 1.5. They all got deported. Now, this child was born here in these United States in Arizona. Okay, let's clear that up. But they deported the homie and his wife. They were pulled over by the police. The simple pullover, traffic violation. They got pulled over, name got ran. Oh, you ain't from here. They sent their ass back to Sinaloa. I just talked to the bro this morning.
The police did, or ICE.
The police, bro. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people thinking it's ICE and everything. Like, that's one factor of it. But the locals, you get pulled over.
So it was the sheriffs though,
Well,
wasn't it?
No,
you in Arizona. See, the department, it's up to that department. They have the option to cooperate. Now, a lot of them are cooperating. You have some who've offered to openly cooperate and send people to help.
It
So
sounds like
some
they've
police
expanded the
departments
authority.
are.
It sounds
Yeah.
like they've expanded the authority of the police department on the local level to
I
To some
I think
to some
participate in
federal
the
level.
I think it's
deportation of immigrants or illegal immigrants. But
Yeah, like
that's a slippery slope, man. That's a
like
real
like
slippery
yeah,
slope.
yeah. Because like here, the
Oh man,
sheriffs, the
that shit
sheriff's
gonna
been
be the
been
fucked
helping
up.
out, but LAPD ain't doing it because they know they do it. They gonna end up getting fired. So
see,
the
there's
sheriff,
a difference in between cities that accept the sanctuary term and the cities that don't. In the cities that don't, you're more subject to see occupant being pulled over in that scenario happening, right? Compared to they may just give you a ticket in LA, right? They, in whatever sanctuary city, I don't know. It's a lot of them that
Well,
declare.
Rose. I want not to cut you off, but LA was announced by the newly appointed U.S. Attorney General of the Southern Section here in California that he said it on air. You can Google this. LA is not a sanctuary city no more. And 48 hours after he said that, look what was going on in the city.
No, I dig it, but the politicians, Karen Bass, uh, you know, Gavin Newsom, the fucking, governor, and all the politicians, like shit, they family, at least, all of those that hold office that are, Mexican or Hispanic descent, they family probably are super affected. They not going for that. LA is a sanctuary city. I think this is what I think. I think because that is Trump slammed the hammer, like, nah, we finna get out there. I mean, when you see the Marines being deployed, then come on. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, they going to a third world country and, at war, nigga. This is California, nigga, where Marines is being deployed, bro. That's different. That shit is different. And and it's sad. Like I said, on my little, 2 cents earlier, man, I'm kind of conflicted because P, Jesse.
Yeah, I know Jesse.
Yeah, his mom's pops, they, when we didn't have to go to the fucking, I mean, we could have went to the markets and stuff, but they had produce. They come hit to spin the block in the neighborhood and hit that motherfucker. Bring your ass outside and get this fresh tomatoes and cucumbers and all of that. Like the people that's actually contributing, those are the ones that I don't feel like should be deported. Criminals, different story, but the ones that's actually, making a difference and really trying to do something good in life, don't bother nobody. That's a problem for me, man. And I ain't trying to, like I said, I may ruffle some feathers, but at the end of the day, man, it's like, damn, you know what I mean?
I mean, well, I tell a lot of people this, especially some of our Hispanic brothers and sisters that we cool with and love, just like they one of us. It's no hate, but a lot of them know how many friends do we have that we've asked and or they've told us that, yeah, man, my dad or mom was very racist. They're racist. I hear that a lot. I played soccer growing up my whole life, so it was in the 90s. Being good playing soccer in the 90s, you catch a lot of flack, a lot of hate, man. I didn't experience a lot of shit from the Hispanic community coming up playing soccer. You go out there as a black kid making their kid look bad to you, they ain't gonna have no nice words for you. So that's why I say, me personally, I don't have no hatred towards the Hispanic community. Like some of my best friends are Salvadorian, and they'll take the shirt off their back for you. But like I have the conversation with them also, and they'll tell you that, yeah, man, it's a lot of racism going on in my culture towards black people, and a lot of Hispanic cultures, not from individual experiences, but from a lot of stuff was learned before we got here.
Well, I mean, it's kind of taught in the jailhouse and the pens too. So all the uncles and dads that may have went to the pen, we taught segregation. Like you can't, you know what I mean? You can't fuck with
Yeah.
them. That's how it is. So then that shit bleeds into the household to where, little Junior, even though he 5'6", he may grow up and become a gang member. So he's taught that at an early age, like you can't fuck with the negro. That's what they say. They call us negros. That means black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sad, but especially with the black and brown, it's a fine line, bro. Like we all in the same. I said it earlier, it's all in the same game. It's just different cultures, different shit. But you know, the shit that I'm seeing is like, they acting the fool out there. They burning cars that look like us. So how much far are they off
Yeah.
the grid?
Like I said,
You know what I'm saying?
it is crazy, and it's gonna be wild tonight. It is a full moon tonight in Los Angeles. And a lot of people don't know. Scientists say, well, some people will tell you, look at the moon. You see those spots in the moon. That is nothing but a reflection of what it's looking at. So you can see the reflection of the continents in the moon. That's what you're looking at, those gray spots. Just some little information for people, because some people be like, oh man, what is those spots, man? Yeah, that's the reflection of Earth. the land that's on the moon. But yeah, man, on some real talk, man. But like you said, man, like I said, this show was called Paternity in the Paint, man. We got a little bit off subject, but like I say, man, how does racial issues tie into sports? Say a lot of sports, a lot of sports are entwined with different races. Even in NFL, a lot of people don't talk about that, man. NFL has a lot of Nigerian descent in there, last names on some of these jerseys nowadays. You know, the name is starting from the bottom of the left and ending on the bottom of the right. You know, stretched all the way around. It's so long. But yeah, man, like I say, hey Rose, man, the you know Rose, Big LA, Russ Don, like I say, the scandals in sports, man, like we said, the scandals that's being talked about now, these are all allegations. It's nothing really set in stone, but like you say, man, a lot of people not going to admit to it. Social media gets a hold of a lot of stuff, and hey, at the end of the day, man, if 300 people are saying the same thing, man, I don't think everybody's lying, but sometimes it turns out to be a lie. But in this case, you hope it's a lie, but it's seeming like it's not going to lead towards that way. I wish the best for all parties involved, especially the child, because people don't realize kids are involved. They suffer the most. A lot of these men and women playing games, you know what I'm saying, laying down, having babies with people they don't want to be with. The child is going to suffer at the end. So, you ignorant men and women, y'all got to straighten your shit up, especially in the sports. What y'all got all this money and all these millions. Son just walked in, he had a game in Pasadena. Y'all win today? Oh, they said they won. Final score 58-63. He said he had 6 points off the bench.
I had 20. Why are you playing with me? Why are you playing with me right now?
20 points off the bench. Y'all get ready, man. Fresno State. He coming to Fresno State, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. Hey, it's about to go down, man. But like I say, man, I just wish everybody would pay close attention to their own stuff, just like they do stuff on social media, even though it's entertaining. That lets you know the drama that you pay attention to, that they're going through. You don't need that in your life.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. I just wanted to, give a shout out all the way around the board, man. Taurus, what up? First off, what they call him, Russ Stringfellow, what up? You know what I'm saying? Brother Don Juan, you know what I'm saying? The Deacon, you feel me?
Do your thing, Roosevelt.
Yeah, Big LA, 100 P, man. I just pray every individual on the screen and everything that we touch that's within 6 degrees of each other prosper. Because, there's some fucked up shit going on outside, man. I don't mean to use the vulgar language, but the truth is the truth. There's a lot of things going on outside that ain't within our control, man. Protect your own, love your own. And like I said in them comments, as a Negro, we were taught to stay in our lane. They don't want us to take cruises. They don't want us to take vacations. They don't want us to travel. Y'all notice that new ID traveled, that new ID thing came out lately?
Yeah, you gotta have the real ID.
Yeah, that's just to keep tabs on you, man.
That's why I tell you to drive more.
Jump in your whip and get to where you got to get to. That's a good, it's a lot of good places in these United States of America that you can view. That's the whole thing about staying in your lane. A lot of Negroes don't, stay in their lane. They don't want to travel and view. Man, look, we free to move about the country like Southwest. Go get to it. You better. You deserve this. Our ancestors wish they had an opportunity. We got it right now. Go get to it. Don't sell yourself short for nothing. Go get to it. Go travel. Go live. Go enjoy life. That's all I got to say, man. Respect.
That's what's up, Rose, man. Like I say, that's what's up, man. Hey, real talk, man. Hey, man, we got to do better as a whole in general. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better as a whole in general, man. But hey, Big LA, man. Like I say, man, you on this west side. You know what I'm saying, man? What's it looking like in your neck of the woods? You know what I'm saying? Like, how's everything going and transpiring over that way?
I live in Trump country.
yeah,
The people that are watching and viewing what we are doing hear me when I say this. That's why Don laughs. I live in Trump country. You know anything about California, anything about a place called Kern County? I ain't gonna say the city, but come to Kern County and you'll find out. You dig what I'm saying? You got people out here that say they don't. You got people out here that say they don't come to my city that I'm in right now because of the politics within the parameters.
County. For
So
sure.
I wouldn't expect the people in this community to give a damn at all, because a lot of them wear certain things that got certain holes in certain places. That I say, look,
Yeah, well, I know about King County.
worry about your own, worry about your own, worry about who worry about you. And at the ends of the day, a lot of these folks don't care about us. They just want somebody else to validate what they got going on, so it look like it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, you right. And like I say again, man, anybody listening, anybody want to be a part of this show, reach out to me on social media, man. West of the 110 on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. Send a message. You want to voice your opinion, man. No color lines, man. We appreciate anybody, male, woman, female. Hey, if you're LGBTQ, if you're trans, you feel like you got something to say. Hell, you live on the west side of the 110. Hey, tap in.
Hey, I
Like I
want to
say,
throw one more thing out there.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. We got a little time.
I want to know if anybody on here saw the unrest today, this afternoon, and they had 3 black people on there. 3 black people, black lady, and 2 alleged reverends. And I'm looking at these people, and particularly 2 of them. And the only thing I saw them 2 reverends doing was getting camera shots, film, both of them. Sister
Was it for
too,
sexual acts?
but no, it was for. I think it's for pub. You know, but they wanted to be on the TV screen. They wanted to be on the TV. That's all I saw in them. That's
Yeah,
all I
they were
seen. I
coming
mean, they
out
was
to support.
accepted.
I say they were coming out to support. They were being some on camera whores. You know, it's a political.
Yeah,
You know, it's a
yeah,
political
yeah.
thing.
That's exactly what they were. That's
Right.
exactly what they were.
Photo op. It was a photo op.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of politicians do that, so it's not. That's why I say politics is a bunch of bullshit anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of disgusting.
You should be a politician, Russ. That's why you should be a politician, Russ, man. Just feed into the bullshit and you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah. I should do that. Just worry about myself and say I love the people and I'm become a politician. And go after my own self-interest.
And they also said that my daughter took to my attention. She like they was on the internet, and a lot of the Hispanics were like, "Yeah, you guys, y'all should help." Blah blah blah, and they were like, "Well, you know what? We did our part. You know what I'm saying? We voted, and they was like, well, one of them said, well, we don't need y'all help anyhow. If y'all didn't need the help, why were y'all asking for it? You know, it's crazy, you know. Hatred really on both sides of the aisle, you know.
Exactly. That's
uncalled for.
You know
what's divided.
I mean,
you know what's dynamic in this whole situation? Like let's take a deep step back, right? Like you have the Hispanic community feeling like the African American community should step up and ride with them. Then you have the Black community saying, and not everybody, I'm just saying in general, like, where was y'all at when we, you know who's sitting back laughing at this shit?
The white man.
Every last one of them.
When you realize that, then that should be an eye opener for sure.
That's his plan right there. He wants us divided. As long as we fight amongst each other, we can't focus on him because we too busy fighting amongst each other. Man,
You know who I found out that really don't like us a lot too? Them ching chongs.
Oh yeah.
They do not like us.
Yeah.
They do not like us.
Yeah.
They just like the money that we spend.
They say we lazy. They believe that.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones. But like real talk, I've asked a lot of them in the neighborhood where I live at, even in other Black neighborhoods where I exercise at. Some of them been having establishment like laundromats they own a lot. They may employ Hispanics to manage it and watch it, but a lot of them are owned by a lot of Asians. And I've asked them, hey man, how long you been in this community? One of 32 years. You know, dude said he been here 33 years. I said, how much money have you given back to this community? You know, everybody come here, wash clothes. How much money have you given back to this community in 33 years? He walked off laughing, you know, with that little hands behind his back. I know what that meant. I ain't gave shit.
They don't like nobody, man, because at the refinery that my daughter's mom work out, she's Asians there, they chemists too. And they were arguing with the Latinos, and the Asian told him, like, you guys are immigrants, y'all need to go back to where y'all going. And dude said, man, you motherfuckers are more immigrants than us. You motherfuckers come from further than us. Get the fuck out of here. I'm like, well, yeah, you got a point, Ching Chong. But I mean, I know the motherfuckers hate us though. I know them Asians. They, you know what? The cool part about them, they think they more white than say Latinos. I mean, to me, they're like blacks. You stick out just like us. Y'all eyes are tight.
I guarantee you this,
Well, you know what? I didn't mean to shoot that.
That was low. Yeah, that was low.
I didn't want to shoot that. I meant to say, you know, I meant to say they stick out like us.
Just something that slipped.
I meant to say they stick out like us. That's all. That's all. My bad.
I guarantee
My
you,
bad.
Hold anybody on this screen in your whole existence of life, you've never seen an Asian business hire. I'm gonna say politically correct, an African American. You have never seen that. Whether it was
I beg to differ. I have. I will say that I have. There's a couple fish markets down here. Some of these you buy, you fry, and there's specifically one down the street that I know I've been going to for like 30 years. And this Asian lady, she has two African Americans. I mean, these some hood motherfuckers now, but they've been there for like 30 years. But they started as like in their 20s, but they still there. I mean, I know it's not a common occurrence.
Not at all.
Right, but I'm not going to say never. I can't say never.
Them niggas know how to cut and gut and clean fish professionally. That's probably why
they not cutting and gutting fish no more. They work the counters in front. They up front. They running shit.
I guarantee.
Yeah, they way beyond that. But like I tell people from the get go, hey, a lot of people see that, but look who you. Hey, come on, man. You know your heritage. Go to Africa, go to Nigeria. People think their biggest consumption is goat and beef and shit like that, man. Their biggest consumption is fish. They do a lot of fishing over there, and they've been doing that off the coast of Africa for shit years.
And they've been grabbing us off the coast of Africa for years too.
And the cool part about it, they think
Africa. a lot of people got to really do their history, man. Because I tell a lot of people like this, man, that I've known some people personally who've been screaming Africa for day one and found out their heritage and background had nothing to do with Africa.
I'm just saying, bro, the oppression for our people has been real this whole lifetime here in this country. I'm not gonna dance around it.
That's a fact.
You know, hey, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like I said, you know, before when doing content, I kind of been sensitive and didn't want to. Fuck that. I'm speaking to my mom, nigga. Nigga, we been oppressed. We still oppressed. Ain't no been. We still oppressed. Right now. Right now. After they done with the Mexicans, who you think next?
I just said that the other day.
Yeah.
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 I said that when Trump was running for office. I said that. Everybody happy because he's going after the Mexicans. I'm like, shit. Who say we not next?
He finna get all of them out the way. What's the next agenda? Us.
Yep.
That's that.
Do y'all like,
1956.
Do you really think?
That's
people
that old
think that this man
that's,
is going to get
that old
him out the way. That's not going to happen.
Search, frisk and search. 1956 rule. Still finna be prevalent to today. I guarantee you. After that's done with the Hispanics, we finna be stopped and frisked. Just because they don't need a probable cause.
They got immunity from bullshit like that now.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But these are the people. Let's talk about it. These are the people that y'all wanted to put in office. These are the people that y'all went to y'all voting booths and put in office. And now, because he doing exactly what the fuck he told you he was gonna do, now y'all mad. I want somebody to stand up for y'all when y'all was voting for him to do what the fuck he doing now. Kiss my ass while you down there wipe that motherfucker. I don't care what y'all got going on. Y'all mad because we not jumping. I didn't see half as many of y'all that's asking us to jump when a young man got killed over a bag with a bag of Skittles and an iced tea in his hand. I didn't see y'all jump when a man had a knee in his back and it caused him to stop breathing and he died. I didn't see y'all jump when that lady tried to rebuke the devil out of her house and that man killed her. I didn't see y'all do none of that. So until I see y'all standing up for that, or the young boy in the South that ran from the police and got shot in his back, kiss my ass.
Hey, I would only think if Milo was here, he would say to my Hispanic community, they caught the vapors. They caught the vapors. You know what I'm saying?
He said it yesterday. He came on the show yesterday. The same thing I'm griping now, he said in his own way. Y'all didn't jump for us.
Hey, but you know what? That ain't a bad thing because that's replenishing the selection in the DR. So I'm not really mad at it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. See, Bobo trying to be funny. I'm mad. I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell
I'm just
that
saying,
a certain side. I'm mad that an ethnicity that has had so much to say about us towards us.
Hey, and look, they're gonna be domesticated because they've been in, America for so long, so they're gonna be able to talk that good English, nigga. I'm telling you, it might work out, bro. I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut the fuck up, man. I told you I ain't holding my fist. P, come get me, P.
Hey, Rose, I got a question for you. You say that, right? You say people are replenished in a certain part and they'll know how to get on with the get out. What about the people here that don't know how to get on with the get on, but still want to stick their hand out? Or the people who come here illegally and stick their hand out, right? And get what they don't give people that are already in this country.
That's the thing that I was saying. You got to go back to this country was built on immigration. Who are you or me or anybody to say? I mean, we could say that, of course, we deserve a lot more justice and rights for our people. But End of
A
the day.
lot, but okay, but that's the thing. A lot of us not immigrants. Like P said, a lot of us was here before this motherfucker was discovered. When they
All right,
claim
I'm
it,
on my way.
I get
you
it.
know what I mean?
I get it. But they robbed them, came and brought their laws, went to Africa, stole all the gold, all the diamonds, stole us, brought us here, cultivate, cotton, tobacco. You know what I'm saying? We landed in fucking Caribbean, Jamaica, nigga, the DR, nigga, we landed all the way up the whole strip, Cuba, the whole nine. You feel me? Uh,
Hey, hey, relative. I'm gonna say it plain and simple. We taught white folks how to wash their ass and be civilized in another country. How
yeah,
many of y'all? How many? And just this real quick. America is so big on the dollar and wanting to show something. Show the motherfucking boats that y'all brought us over here with if that's the story y'all want to keep running with. Since y'all love money so much and y'all like showing historical shit.
That would be a tourist attraction.
Who wouldn't want to see how y'all supposedly got us here? Newsflash, we was here already. And a
yeah.
lot of y'all fed us bullshit like y'all feed us today to get us to say, oh, okay, that's cool. And then y'all run and take over.
If this was the 1800s, they would have been whooping your ass, Big LA. You would have been the
That's
first
cool.
to
Hey,
get.
that's cool. My name Big LA. I got a YouTube channel and a Facebook. Y'all come see me.
You wasn't them
I
light
don't, I
skinned
don't say
niggas.
I don't say nothing wrong that y'all don't already know y'all doing.
You one of them light skinned niggas too. They wouldn't have had you in the house. You would have been in the field. They'd have been beating the dog shit out your ass.
That's cool. And I'd have went down dying. I'd have went down fighting for my people.
I want to ask a question, but I'm gonna wait till the next show because this is deep.
No, what's the question? No, what's the question?
Go ahead, go ahead.
He letting us cut up tonight? What's the question?
Do y'all think? All right, I'm asking. Do y'all think if you were born in slavery, that right, would you rather been a renegade, went against the cause, or what do you think would be your emotion feeling towards that if you were born in those times, those days and times?
Oh, they would have knocked me off. I got too many questions. I got too many questions.
All right. Now, look, there's a difference between yourself now going back into slavery or you being born into slavery. Those are two different people. For one, you're going to come out the womb and you're going to be shaped by your environment.
Mm-hmm.
So this renegade mentality was not shared by all. So who really knows what you would be? In your heart, you may feel you would be a renegade, but who knows how that environment would have shaped you? So, but if you were sent back to face those circumstances today after your current experiences, of course, yeah, I'm a renegade because there's no way I can adapt to that after experiencing this my whole life.
Right.
But if that's all you've ever known, something has to spark that ignition to like where like it's something else out there. It doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah, you right. Hey, let me show you this, man. Here goes an angry black man. He's resenting his vote.
I
Check it out.
voted for my own job loss. Like a damn fool. And I ain't ashamed to admit
Currently getting my PhD in Jersey.
I won't do that again.
Bro, shit.
What do you think about dudes like that, man?
He feels like a fucking idiot. I mean, like along with the rest of them motherfuckers that voted, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I mean, when you look at the choices though, like, it was either her or him. Like, I don't think, in general.
Not necessarily, Roosevelt. Not to cut you off, I want to add to what you're saying. You said we had Kamala Harris or him. If people did the research that they said they do, they would realize that we had way more than just two candidates. They went with the flashiest thing that had the biggest bankroll that lied to them the cleanest without it being shown. My bad, continue. I just wanted to say that before I forgot it. My fault.
I mean, like I said, man, ultimately, I feel what you're saying, but bro, popular by popular demand, those other candidates couldn't convince, what they needed to on their campaign trail. So it boiled down to two. First, it was, him and him, but, they found, Uncle Joe, incompatible to, do what he was supposed to do. And now we find out many moons later, like, okay, we see what's going on, right? Like, it now comes out, but it was him or her. I don't think America was ready to see, a woman president,
Well,
especially not these
not
days.
a black woman president either.
Yeah, that for
There
sure.
you go. There you go. There you go. Is that right there?
For
That's
sure
what they
that.
didn't want to see.
For sure that. For sure, not a black one, but even more so, like security wise, right? Like if you look at it, there's a lot of chaos. Russia, Ukraine, the Taiwan, Chinese situation. Even up to recently Pakistan, and they'd probably looked at it like, you know what I'm saying? How could she handle that? Right. So they feel like a male would probably fit, suit, which I think is bullshit, but I think that's what it boiled down to. He had more dominance in the situation. And that's what it is. But end of the day, you know what I mean? I feel, me personally, um, a president don't run my life, man. God, bottom line. I don't care who in office. Nothing's higher than the power that I believe in. So it is what it is. Bottom line.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Well, like I say, man, shit, man, we've been on here about like an hour and 37 minutes, man. Ain't gonna hold people up too much. We got work days tomorrow, a lot of stuff going on. Some people on the West Coast, last day of school for their kids tomorrow. So people are like, oh yeah, man, the kids ain't got to get up early. Yeah, but that's when the real work starts. Because when your kids go to school, you only got to feed them like once or twice when they come home. Now you're gonna feed them 4 to 5 times a day to the whole summer. So,
Real shit.
You got to deal with them 24/7 instead of,
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. But before we get out of here, Rose, we got you here, man. Why don't you go ahead and get the people some good news they could use?
Hey man, peace and blessings to everybody, on the screen. You are now tuned in to, West Side of the 110, man, hosted by P. Um, simple as plain, man, do right, unto others that you want done unto yourself. You know what I mean? If you go out there treating people like shit, what you think gonna come back to you? If you go out there selfish in the world and feel like you can't share any of your experiences with somebody else, what you think gonna come back to you, man? Karma is real, but more importantly, like I said earlier, you know, you are now free to move about the country. My Negro people, please wake up. You're not confined into your house, into your community, to your neighborhood. Nigga, start traveling. Go do something. Shit. And that's it, man. Hey, peace, love, and hair grease. Thank you for having me, Pete.
That's what's up, man. Anytime, man. Any motherfucking time, man. Mr. Rush Stringfellow, man. Like I say, but before we get off, I got to show y'all this again.
You're in traffic, you're at a red light, you get an unexpected ass kicking, road rage at its best. You need legal advice and action. Call us now, Stringfellow Taylor and Associates, 888-777-LEGAL.
That shit funny every time I look.
Yeah, man.
You get
Y'all
your
remember,
ass beat, you better
y'all need
call
attorney.
Rush Stringfellow.
Y'all call Russ, man. You know, even not trying to be funny. You know, they do handle immigration, stuff. So call them, pay the talk, get a good consultation. You know what I'm saying? He may work out a deal with you, especially you look a certain way. Hey, no, but go ahead, Russ, man. Give us some news they can use, man.
Just piggybacking off what Rose said, you need to not only expand your surroundings, physically expand your surroundings, expand your mentality too. You realize there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we really aren't aware of. I don't want to get too deep off into that right now, but I'm just saying you keep your eyes open and really be conscious and make your own decisions. Don't just fall for the get-go, and don't be sheep. Don't let people lead you. You better be your own master. You got to find out what's right for you.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Funny, Russ. That's real.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate that. Like I say, appreciate everybody who join in all the time. Again, anybody who want to be a part of this show, reach out to us on social media. It ain't nothing but sending a quick message. I don't know why some people get timid, like, oh, I got a lot to say. You get the opportunity, you know what I'm saying? You get presented to you, then you flake out. Hey, man, you ain't hurting us. You just hurting yourself. That's your word, ain't gonna get heard. But hey, Big LA, man, what's the word, man? Go ahead and let them know something.
I think me and my brothers have said more than what contractually to some of you people needs to be said. Go live your life. Go live your life for your loved ones that you care about. Hey, a whole nation that's asking for your help said fuck you before this. Stop being sheep. Stop turning a blind eye to shit that you see clear in your face. Don't get me wrong, not all have said fuck us, but the majority of them said fuck us. To the ones that haven't, saluting my hat off to you. But your people have a misguided outlook on how shit is. Y'all should have known something when they asked y'all to come fight in the war and then sent y'all right back to where y'all came from. And some of y'all was here and been here for years and got sent back to what is unknown to you now. Live your life, do what you got to do for you. In the meantime, in between time, we'll fuck with you. Like, share, sub us, tell a friend, tell a friend. West side of the 110. Peace and blessings.
What's up, man? Again, we appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in yesterday on the Sunday pop-up shows last minute, everybody who was involved, man. Like I say, man, we here, man. I know we got a little bit off subject, but hey, man, that's how it go down. Whenever real talk happens, you gotta let it flow, man. That's like when you find a new stream of oil. You gonna stop it? No, you're gonna let it flow to make money off of it. But y'all check us out next week, Monday, 7 p.m. West of the 110. Appreciate everybody for joining in. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, don't end and just take a break. And we will catch y'all